back for part 2 of my Evil Dead 2014 review. Now to talk about the second part of the movie. Um, after they find the dead cats and everything, we we get to pretty much Mia walking out of the cellar and being grossed out and everything, and being like, I want to leave. I can't be I can't be here. My mind my mind needs to be thinking. That's not what she says, but she might as well. But I can't be here. We can do the rehabilitation someplace else, but not here. Uh, and the nurse woman, I think played by Jessica Lucas, ends up pretty much saying, "Ah, this is part of the drugs. Stay here. We'll help you." And I'm like, what? You find dead cats in the middle of the cellar, and you find a weird book wrapped in barbed wire and wrapped in a plastic trash bag. I would be getting the fuck out of there. Now, uh, because Mia wants to leave, Mia takes the car keys, runs off, gets in the car, and drives off. And she's saying, fuck, 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 fuck. And she screams out like, fuck. And I'm just like, okay. And she crashes. And she lands in a lake. Okay. She gets out of the car. Instead of asking for help, she decides to run back to the cabin on her own. And she gets stuck in the trees and she's screaming for help. Like the smart person does. And the trees wrap around her, and here comes pretty much supposed to be all exciting rape scene, uh, all explicit rape scene that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell were promising was going to be more brutal than the rape scene in the first movie, in the original. All it is, she's wrapped in the trees. A demon girl pops out. A turd snake. Like some sort of creature. I call it a turd snake, and so does Matt, Rainbow Afterlife. He didn't like this movie, but I happen to like it. But I don't like this particular scene. The the snake creature crawls up Jane Levy's snatch, and she screams. That's it. And the trees let her go, and her brother Shiloh Fernandez ends up hearing her screams, takes her back to the cabin. And then Jane Levy's like, we need to get out of here. Whispering. Now, Matt Rainbow Afterlife complained about that. Saying, why is she whispering? Well, here's how I see it. She's whispering because they think she's crazy, and she's whispering on an account of so nobody can hear, uh, and telling her brother, I saw something in the woods, and we need to leave. And the brother's like, well, we're trying to help you. And she's like, I don't think you understand. I think it's in here with us. And I'm just like, oh, this movie's getting good now. And I saw this in the theater, and I'm eating my popcorn, being like, ooh, it's getting good. My sister went, well, my two sisters went, um, and we're all sitting there eating the popcorn, and next thing you know, Lou Taylor Pucci's character. That's him right there. I forget the character's name. I've only seen this movie a couple times. Uh, I bought this for $2 down at a family video. Um, so, anyways, the Lou Taylor Pucci ends up taking the barbed wire off of the book, ends up ripping the bag off of the book, and finds that the book is made of flesh. Right there should tell you there's something wrong. And then he's reading, and all hell breaks loose. And it even says, do not read this book, leave the book alone. But he doesn't. He continues reading, and he ends up reading the chain. And because of that, Mia gets possessed. And she's screaming and everything, saying, I need to get out of here! And she falls to the floor. And then she pops back up, looks all muggy and everything, looks kind of grotesque, and she ends up saying, you are all going to die tonight. And then she falls down to the floor. And the nurse is like, what was that? And they lock her up in the room. And I'm like, you stupid, stupid nurse. You're supposed to be a nurse, but you, when something is up, something is up. Take her to the hospital. Don't keep her here. But the, the nurse is stupid, played by Jessica Lucas, I think. I don't know any of these actors or actresses. All I know is the characters they play. Anyways, that's the nurse. Uh, oh, before that, before they lock her up, she ends up waking back up. And she ends up attacking Jessica Lucas's character and screaming at her at the top of her lungs and pukes on her. Pukes. Pukes blood out of it. Out of her mouth, pukes it inside Jessica Lucas's mouth. And I'm just like, oh. Now they're just trying to be for shock value. And that's what this movie is, it's shock. Shock value. So you got that, and she's shivering and everything. They lock her up, and she ends up going. They end up locking her up in the cellar now. They end up taking the chains, taking some nails, putting the chains around the nails so that she can't get out of the cellar. Okay, being exactly like the first one now, but not entirely. So they lock her up. So then all hell breaks loose. Jessica Lucas's character gets possessed, and that's her possessed on the back. Gotta find it. Second picture. See where my finger is pointing. Right there. That's her possessed. And the way it works out in this film, the book is explaining what's going to happen. I'm like, okay, you're pretty much spoiling the movie for us now. She ends up cutting her face, slicing right into it. Practical effects, which is really cool. Don't see that anymore. And all the effects in this movie are practical effects, so I give mad props for special effects. Jane O'Kane did the effects. So much props to her. Um, she did a good job. A damn good job. No Tom Savini, but she did a good job. Huh. Lou Taylor Pucci ends up going into the roof bathroom trying to find out what the fuck is up, and ends up seeing Jessica Lucas's character puncturing her face, and the door closes as he screams, and he ends up slipping on the blood, hits his head on the toilet lid, not the toilet seat, but the toilet lid, you know, the actual toilet itself, and gets knocked out, and ends up going to the door, screaming, "Help! Get me out of here!" The nurse takes a needle, shoves it in his eye, and the 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 needle itself, he pulls it right out of his eye and screams. And he takes the toilet seat and bashes uh, the nurse repeatedly, trying to kill her because, whoo, she's not human anymore. Anybody with a brain could know that. And then Shiloh Fernandez opens up the door and is saying, "You killed her. And you killed her." And Lou Taylor Pucci's like, "She attacked me. She attacked me." And they get the fuck out of there after that, finding out that the bridge collapses, just like the original. Um, and then it becomes its own movie. Um, Pretty much, it becomes its own shock value type of movie. Blood starts to spill. One by one, they end up getting possessed. They're trying to make it out of there. I'm not gonna spoil everything, so all I can say is I liked the movie. Um, is is it better than the original? Hell no. Uh, it's if the first movie is here, which it goes really really high up. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, the original. Then uh, the remake is right here, a couple notches below it. Like it's probably my favorite movie of 2013. Of 2013, that came to the theater. I hated Texas Chainsaw 3D. I I thought uh, Alice in Wonderland was alright. Um, but most of the movies I saw in the theater, I didn't really care much for. Um, as for features for the DVD, we've got Making Life Difficult, the intense and physically exhausting creation of the film. It was decent. Directing the Dead, director Fede Alvarez reimagines a cult horror classic. I watched that, it was decent. Being Mia, the physical and psychological transformation into evil Mia. Okay, that was pretty cool. Pretty much shows the process, shows the makeup effects and everything. Jane Levy was my favorite part out of the entire movie, so I thought she did a great job. So, anyways, I'm gonna stop it here because I'm running out of time. So, peace. It gets a 9 out of 10 for me. So, hopefully, you enjoyed the review. This Psychopathic one, signing off. Peace. Hopefully, you all enjoyed my review over it.